Hey everybody. All right. So today I'm just going to code. I was going to talk about a bunch of stuff and I just want to code. We're going to figure out some things together. I was looking at some sites and I'm kind of curious if I can actually create an actual overlay in OBS or actually in regular HTML and JavaScript, mainly HTML, and see if I can do an overlay, bring that overlay into um, OBS and see how that works. So what you're going to see is me learning something new real time. Uh, haven't tried it, haven't practiced this, wanted to do it raw and see what happens. So let's see how this goes. And I will start by going into the site that we did yesterday. So yesterday, uh, I think it was 2 days ago, localhost. Great. And I was playing with this, and I believe I have the variables up here, yeah, which is all fine. Do. All right, so I have the Next.js site up and running. Let's start. I wonder if I can do localhost in OBS as an overlay. I don't know if that's possible, but we're going to figure that out right now. So I'm taking the localhost, and let's see if it even loads it. So I am going to, let's do add browser, create new. Great. I'm going to, oh, local file. Oh, interesting. So it does support local files and 1920 by 1080. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now, but I just want to get it. Control audio by way of OBS. Sure. Custom CSS. Wow, that's kind of nice. Let's see what happens. Holy crap. It worked. So if I turn off the screen capture, I now have that as my overlay. So that's nice. Let's see if it actually came through. And it did. All right, I'm going to show you. Um, so I'm in here. So this is going to be so easy. Yay, OBS. Well, it's going to be easy. I just have to figure out what kind of design I want, how I want to implement it, and how I'm going to do the CSS. There's a lot of stuff I have to do in regards to that. However, let's turn on that screen capture. Let's turn off the browser, right? Because that's my overlay. It's kind of fun. Um, as you can see, the overlays all the way up here because it's taking up the full screen. When I turn off the screen capture, you'll see it. Anyway, that's really cool. So let's, this is screen capture 1. So if I come here, properties, and I don't want to hide OBS this time. And I say, okay. So let me bring OBS into view. Great. That's about all you need. Okay, so let's go back to what I did. So if I go into code camera top right, which is this one, and I turn off the browser and I turn on the screen capture, right, now you can see OBS. So all I did right in here is I clicked on add browser, and I created a new one, and I'll show you what I did. So in this one, you can see all I did was localhost, which is what that website actually is. So that means, and I had to change the width and height so it would actually line up for 1920 by 1080. Well, what's really cool about this, you can even do a local file. So if I have a static file that I want to use as an overlay, super easy, you can do that. You can even write custom CSS inside OBS, which is insane. Shutdown source are not visible, read access to OBS status, refresh cache of current page. Sure. Use custom frame rate. Nope. All of this is great. So now I want to actually create a page of an overlay. And we're going to cheat because that's fun. Cheating's all relative, right? Really, the real question is, I'm going to hide OBS now so you can get back to what we were doing and say, okay, that looks amazing. So let's go back to Code Camera. Ta-da. Okay. So while I'm here, I just want to make sure I can see what you see. Okay. We're going to leave localhost. There's my website for those who are interested. Yay. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find an overlay I like. Overlays for OBS. And that's a sponsored one. I don't like sponsored. I like the first one. Free live streaming overlays, alerts, and widgets. And Streamlabs. I've heard of Streamlabs. I don't know. I'll look at Streamlabs. And let's find one. I don't know. Dark Nexus. That looks really cool. Let's see what it does. So a particle effect in the background. Kind of nice. Stream is ending. Stream alert. Stream is offline. All right. So let's start with something simple. That was actually kind of fun. And there's a lot of ways to actually do this. I'm going to design something in Canva. I wonder if there's overlay templates here. Overlays. Twitch overlay. Twitch stream overlay. Twitch webcam overlay. Obviously, there's a bunch of different overlays. Wow. I'm doing this for YouTube, but it doesn't really matter. It's still 1920 by 1080. So let's see what we get. Purple at modern. I don't know. Neo-futuristic. Or purple and pastel. Wow. I wonder if I can just start from here. So here we'll do something like this. Not going to use. I just got Canva for the idea, so I'm not going to actually use this, but I'm going to create this in HTML, import that into OBS, and see what works. So need some top stuff. I kind of want a little animated background too. So here's what I do. So for those of you who don't know about CodePen, you do now. CodePen is a great source for visualizations and some great ideas. So, and it gives you actual code, codepen.io. Ta-da! I'm going to log in. Not now. Great. So I am now logged in. Yay. All right. So now let's do animated background. Let's find something we like. No. Let's see what else we got. Next. Oh, clouds moving in CSS animation. That's actually kind of fun. Does it loop infinitely? Or when all the clouds are gone, does it just... Oh no, they pop back up. I don't know. I don't want the clouds. Let's see what else we got. Animated masking. TV static. Noise effect. That's fun. Let's see what else we got. This is what I was... This looks great. This is perfect. It's using Canvas. All right, this is fine. Let's see. So CodePen is a place of a bunch of source code. You can go type and search for whatever you want. And then from here, you can actually fork it and play with it and do whatever you want. So now that I'm logged in, you can fork it. So it's just like using Git. I'll click on fork, forking pen. Great. So now it's actually under mine. So I can mess with it and it will stay as long as I save it. All right, let's see. The other thing I like to check when I do this is what other things they're using. And it looks like they're using nothing. Really? Nice. That's crazy. So they did all of this themselves. All right, let's give it a shot. We're going to create a new page and we're going to use this. So I will come back here and I will do new file. Actually, I'll just copy the page. It's easier that way. Actually, create a new page, new file, and we will call it background.js. And page. Let's see what layout does. Layout should have the children. Yeah, there's the children. Title, create, enter, global, next, font. Great. Page. Copy. Paste. We're going to change some things here. We can use page. We're going to call this background. I just want to see that it's different. Like I said, you're going to see me figure things out real time. All of this looks good. I saved it. And let's see if that page now exists. Slash background does not. Source page.js. Export default home. Oh. Export default background. That's good. Layout. That's good. Styles. Good, good, good. Let's run down. Local. I am missing something about a route. Public. Yeah, that's fine. Page. Oh. Care about that. Children. Subset Latin. Metadata. Root. Children. Root layout. Return. Let's see. You can start editing the page by modifying this. This project uses Next.js to learn more. Learn Next.js, go to learn. Right. Let's come here and let's add a new page. App router. I saw it. App router. Raw objects. You can, yeah, whatever. How do I access the URL on a page? I don't want a multi-tenant app. Yeah. here, let's just, how do I add a new page on Next.js? New route segment using a folder and add a page inside of it. Oh, okay. So it's folder based. Great. So new folder. We'll call it background. Then I'll move background inside of here. And then I'll rename this to page. And it needs to go up. Boom. Slash dot dot. Great. And now I'm activating background. Ta-da! All right, so we learned something today. And is the default still the default? Let's make sure that's still working. Yeah, page, background. Great. Let's get rid of this span. Let's get rid of this span over here too, because it's just a mess. Okay, let's go back to background page. All right, so now I'm in Next.js. I'm in page. I'm including the modules, so the layout's the same. And now I'm going to go back to what this is. We're just going to put canvas in here. Everything else can go away, all the way down to main, gone. And we're just going to put canvas in there. So now that page should be empty. Ta-da! Yay. So I'm going to copy this CSS. And because I have it here, I could put the CSS inside. So, so there's a little debate about organization of CSS. Should it actually be inside the same page? So then I would actually have a global here, and then I'll move page to where the actual page is for the modules. So I can actually move this into here. So now it's associated with the page. So now if I come here, I don't need all of this. I simply just will include this one, right? So that should be good to go in regards to that. Yep. And then generally I would, if I wanted to do one here, I would call it something different. And I would call it background because that's the name of the module or the folder that I'm working in. So page is tied to page here, but background would be tied to here, but it needs to be called page because that's the naming convention of Next.js. All right, so now I have the background here, and then I want to take this. I really just need the canvas. Hey. All right. So I'm going to take the canvas and come back here. I'm going to leave that main, and I don't think I need anything else because I'm not using anything else. So that should fix the canvas variables. All right, let's see. When use variables, where's variables? I'm actually not using any variables, so I don't even need it in this one. And the page one. Oh, because I moved it. I was like, why is that not working? So the variables are going to be slash styles. Yep. Styles. Oh, that's good. Page one. That should go up one and go into styles. It should be underscore variables. no such file or directory. Source styles. Oh, I don't think it needs to go up. I think it's right here. Source styles, page module, under page module, that's CSS. Well, that should be fine. That should be fine. Page module. What if I do that? So I'm here. Here, let me collapse that. Oh. So build process can't find source app page module. Oh, can't find this. Dot styles underscore variable dot CSS. All right, let's figure this out. Styles. Oh, it does need to go up one. It needs to go out of the app. Well, that's really interesting. So I'm trying to use this from a different directory. So I wonder if I move style into app and then fix layout to do that. And then page to do that. That's good. And then in page, it needs to be dot styles. Source styles, page module. All right, we're going to put that in styles and see what happens. So then I come into page, styles, and then something's loading variables incorrectly. Is it background? I want to make sure I'm in this one. So in this one, style, because I'm already here, it should just be variables. I think it's fine at page. That one's correct. Let's get rid of that one. We're not going to give it anything just because it'll give an error. So I'm going to delete this just to make sure all of this is. Yeah, so the error was actually happening in a page that was a different page. Naming conventions matter. All right, so before I do this, let's organize this again. So I want to move this out, which is where I want it. So now in here, I should be able to just include this. Can't resolve. Did you mean? Yeah, I did mean. Great. And now the variable can't be found because that should be dot/style/. Great. Okay, so now that page is back working in the new structure. It was like, this should not be this hard. Okay, so now I'm here. Let me. So now that I'm here, what do I want to do? Page background. Yeah, this is fine. So this one, I'm going to put that back. And I'm going to import the local version background. Great. Ooh, something didn't work. Canvas is not a pure selector. Oh, ID equals test. Hey, we talked about that yesterday. So if you're going to do a top level one like this, it needs to be at the global, which is fine. Actually, I want to call it background because that's really what this is. Great. And now I come here, I change this ID to background. And now everything should be working. There's that. Let's go to background. Background. Great. All is good. Background. And now we're coming back here. So this is good. And now I'm going to take this JavaScript and I am going to put it in here. What does mouse move really do? Oh, it does. That's fun. Wow, this is really cool. Whoever wrote this is pretty cool. All right, so let's see what we got. Yep, bunch of errors. All right, so now I just want to write JavaScript particles, mouse move, create particles. That. We're going to put this inside that so it'll actually execute. Load. Oh, yeah. My bad. Use effect. Okay. That should be good. There's that function, there's that function. There's a timeout, distance, and then we want to do these two as the final call after we set everything up. You're importing a component that needs use effect. It only works with client components. Currents are marked use client. You're importing a component that needs use effect. Okay. So they're server components by default. It only works on client components, but none of them. God, I haven't done React in a while. Let's look this up. Boom. Oh, now you state. There we go. This one. Please help. Like I said, you're going to learn with me. Needs to be a client component. Try to write use client at the top of your code. Use client. I don't think that's going to work. Next.js documentation. Add the React use client directive at the top of a file above your imports. Okay. Use client. Was it that easy? All right. Here's the real thing. Include JavaScript in Next.js. So what if I do that? So the first the first process is get it working, then get it working right. Use effect init, and then particles, and I think there's a create. Let's see. So back here, there should be a create at the bottom. Yeah, create particles. So let's see what create does. Create. Yeah, we should be able to do all of that. The init should be this. So let's do that. Create. And we're going to create a function called init. Init. And let's just format everything. Great. And this should be background. Okay. So then I'm coming back here, and now I have various colors. I have my init. I'm not calling it yet. Init create, and then particles. Time is not defined. Oh. That's why it does all of the outside. That's fine. We're going to move all of these outside. And then on the, right now I'm just declaring variables. All of those are fine. That doesn't matter. This is the only one that matters. So we want canvas equal canvas. Let's see if that works. Can I read properties? Get context? Yeah, because Yeah, so this needs to be no. This needs to be known just so it defines it. And then on the init, I'm going to call it great. Set attribute, canvas set attribute. Where is set attribute? These. That should be part of the init. Look at that. Success. Took a little bit longer than I wanted, but regardless, we got there. So let's talk about what I did. Declared variables outside of it, so they're global. Did the use effect, so on the page load, it will actually trigger everything. Set the initial variables, and then did everything else. So now what I really want to do is start playing with some overlays. So let's do div class name styles description. And we're just going to do description. Let's call it camera rather than, we'll do camera. Great. And now I need styles camera. So am I including that background? I am. Great. So now if I do div camera position absolute with 20%. We'll do 20% white flags. Yeah, that's all good. We'll do background color red just so it'll stand out so we can see it. And there we go. So now let's play with this. So the way the way I like to do things like this is I will inspect. I hope you can see this. You can. Great. And then I start figuring out where I want. Let's do a width of 900 px. No, 300 px. That's good. And then height 400 px. No, 300. That's good. There we go. That's kind of what I want. Border radius. Yeah. That's better. And then border solid aqua. Let's make it 10 px. So you can actually see it. Great. So now I have all of this, and now let's get it in the right position. So because I've built this and it's already lined up with my desktop, what I can do is move all of this around. So I'm going to move this in the right position. Top 100. Let's see. 3. Whoa, too much. Actually, let's put it in the middle. So top 50%. left 50%. And that's close, but we'll just move it here. Darrow. Absolute. All right, so now plane left, and we'll do left. Oh. Do I have display flex? Yeah. Line item center, display content center. That's fine. That's the stuff inside of it. That's why camera is in the middle. Oh, I could actually do that. Let's do that. So div camera container. And now that all went away because the class name changed, which is fine. That can go away, that can go away, that can go away. Here. So let's call it background camera container. And then div class name styles camera. Hello. So now we can actually do more because now we have a container with an object inside of it. And I believe if I did that right, yeah, that still says center, which is great. So now if I do the camera container in here, camera container, great. And then then I do camera. Justify content center, line items, center, failed to compile. Yeah. That looks pretty good. Let's do border radius 10px, border solid, whoops, solid 1px aqua. There we go. Let's make it a little bigger. We'll do 5, 3. There we go. Display content, and then flex. Flex direction. I think that's right. Let's see. I'm going to inspect this. Nope, does not like that. Oh, I need display flex. Flex, there we go. And now I want to do, that's 100, 100. Now we want to do width, height, and position. Relative. No. Absolute. Top 30%. Left 30%. I can start playing with this. So it looks right. We'll do that. Let's change the height. Well, if I really want to do it, let's do this. and left 0, right? And then we do height, let's say 70%. So that'll be my camera cropped. Let's make it even 90%. Which is great. And then we want to do top 5%. Great. So now I want to change a height to something. So I have a border on top and bottom. So let's do 70. And now we get to play with math. So 15, right? Oops, 15%. Yeah, 15%. Great. Whoa. That was crazy. Hold on, I'll be right back. Be right. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. That was just some weird stuff. All right, so I have this. This looks good. And I will come back here. And then from here, let's see. I want to make this background black and get rid of... I don't think I even need this, to be honest with you. Oh, I like that. Box shadow. That looks cool. All right, so now let's do the height like we did. We'll do width of 100%, and we'll do height of 70%, and we'll do the top of 15%. So I save that, and there we go. And we're going to do this just at 99%. And then left, we'll do 98. So I'll have an even border on either side. So left 1%. Great. And you still have the animated background. So let's get rid of the background color. And we will do it. I wonder if I can do this. Yeah. Looks cool. Super simple. This is to build an overlay. So now I have the hello world. I just did the hello world so I could see something. So now I'm going to go back to this. I don't even need this. That's all I want. Let's say I want some, I'll throw my logo at the bottom. Actually, let's just not do the logo and let's just do another div. And we'll do div. Actually, you know what? Let's just see if we can get this working. Let's not get too creative. All right, so I have this as my overlay and I want to put my camera in here. So to do this, I'm going to go into OBS. By the way, this is a really cool overlay. Anyway, yeah, and this lines up perfectly, so my logo is still visible. So I am going to turn my browser back on, but I want to change the properties. And I'm going to say background and say okay. And now if I turn off my screen capture, holy crap, it worked. All right. So let's get into OBS and figure out how to set it up so my camera is inside of it, right? And that should be relatively easy. So let's see, I am here. I want to create a new scene, but I want you to see me creating the new scene, which is going to be a little challenging, little inception issue of teaching OBS on OBS through OBS. It's kind of crazy. All right, screen capture. Yep, this one, and we'll do properties, and we don't want to hide OBS. Great. So now you can see OBS. So what I'm going to do is create a new scene. And we're oops, let's go. Sorry about that. So I'm going to click here and create a new scene. And I will call this overlay scene. Okay. Boom. So first thing I did was add a mic so you can actually hear me. So now that I have this, I am going to add a browser. Add, oh, you need a screen capture. Uh, let's see if I can do this. All right, so here, what I would do is I'm going to click and add, and I'm going to add a browser, but I'm going to add a browser to the other scene. So let me do that because right down here on the overlay scene. So I'm going to click here, add browser, overlay, say okay. And then 1080, say okay. And let's change the properties of this. Say okay. Great. So now I have that, and let's add a camera. Video capture device. Add existing camera one. Great. So let's resize this camera. Oh, that's interesting. That's why they do overlays like that. So here, I'll show you what I'm having a problem with. So as I do this, you can see I'm losing the background, right? Which I don't want to do. So I need layers. Uh, and if I put the overlay at the top, you're going to lose the camera. Oh, you don't, because I made my background transparent. So it's actually showing me inside of that as a transparent background. I don't think I like all that stuff on my face. But kind of cool. Um, Not my intent. But if I move the camera, let's move this down. So I could do that, and that actually would be better. So let's see if I can update that overlay so it'll actually look right. I want it to be right there. That seems good. Yeah, that looks good. So now I want to fix the border or the width of this thing and set it. So let's go back to the code. And then from the code, I want to go to here. Yeah. And the easiest way to do that is in here. And let's just start with the width. So the width is going to be, let's say 70. Yep. And then left 25. 16. Delete 15. Right? That's centered. Great. So 15, 15, 70, 70. So let's see what that looks in code. So I come back over here, change that to 15, change that to 70, save that. That looks good. Let's go back to OBS and then go back to our new scene. Not bad. Now that's good. I want to fix the camera. Be there. Ta-da. Great. Now I have an overlay. Don't like all of the stuff going over me. Cool animations, really cool animations. All right, so let's get rid of that stuff all over me. And all I gotta do is change this to black. And then move the camera up in the orders. And there you go. So now I have this as an overlay. Yay. With some cool animations in the back. And this is all done through HTML and CSS. And I'm using this on localhost. I'm kind of curious if this is really coming through. And I think it is. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing this. Great, next. This looks good. I don't know what you're seeing right now. You need to be seeing this. So this is my overlay in the code, right? Which is kind of cool. So let's see. I'm waiting for all of this to catch up. It seems like there's a bit of a delay in regards to this, which is fine. However, it seems to be working. Wow, it's been an hour. So in an hour, I created a new overlay from scratch locally. created a new scene, imported it into OBS screen capture, overlay scene. Yay! I wonder if this still works. I wonder if it works in camera one. Yay! Oh, because it's a scene. All right, so I have an idea. Let's go back to that scene, overlay scene. So you see I have a camera here. Let's not do the camera. Let's actually remove this. Don't worry, you're going to still be able to hear me. Transform, whoops. I want to come here and I want to remove this. Yes. Great. So now I want to add scene. And I want to add a zoom scene. I say, okay. Great. So now I have this scene. And if I put this scene in here correctly, like so. Yay! So now I'm using the stack scene. So now when I do this, yay! I have my cool animations and things like that, and I still have the cool background. Wow, that was a lot. Okay, so got a background, got some fun. Here, I want to move this a little bit inside. There we go. There you go. Looks great. Did it. Camera. If I switch to camera one, great. I switch back to my overlay. It's all working. So now if I want to create another overlay, or like, let's say I want a title down here. There's a few ways to do titles. I think the easiest way to do titles is by add. Here, we're going to do it so you can see it too. So code camera. So let's say I want to add some text down here. Code camera top right. Oh, I wonder, does that still work? Oh, it does. Great. So let's say I want to add some text down here. So I can do add. I think they actually have, yeah, text free type 2. Right. Title text. And I'll say okay. And I will use select Helvetica. Perfect. And we'll go startups and code. Enable anti-aliasing. Color. Select color. Select. Be more aligned with my theme. That looks good. Color 2. Select color. Gradients. That looks great. That's too subtle. And we'll do that. That's better. Great. Custom link. Defaults. Manual. Select font. Don't want it 256. Let's do 128. Say okay. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. Say okay. And then move the text down here. And now I have text. So if I want to do this on the other one, it's the exact same process. Kind of really like actually that. That's kind of nice. So if I go into my overlay, rather than having to go into HTML and do all that styling, OBS actually has text as part of it. So if I do the add and I do text, and I'll do add existing because it already exists, and I take that and I move it to where I want it, and great, now I have text, right? And you can do all sorts of things with that. I think I can actually do some really fun stuff. Let's do filters and scroll. Okay. Blue. We want horizontal speed to be wow, that's really slow. So let's do filters. We'll do 15. No, let's do title text. Filters. 35. Better. Wow, it's really slow. Just make it. There we go. Something like that. Great. And then what I can do is in the properties, I can write some long text. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tune in every day at 7 a.m. ish, Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what Eastern Time, because daylight savings is about to happen. And love to hear. Weekend times fluctuate. And we say, okay. So now let's make this a little longer. And now it's really distracting. So let's change that. Let's go to properties. Select font. And let's see, 64. That seems good. Yeah, that's much better. Move it down. Move the zoom scene up. And the overlay up. And let's fix where this is coming from. That snaps there. And now I have a little banner that I created, what, in 15 seconds. And I can have that scrolling the entire time. And let's add a little image, add existing logo, say okay, resize that, put it at the top. Just like that. Ta-da! So now I have a cool animated background, some text scrolling by at the bottom, a logo. And keep in mind, all of this is done locally. You didn't pay for anything. Just created an XJS page, and all of that just straight up worked, which is really kind of cool. So let's go back to the code and come here. So now that I'm in the code, and I need to move OBS so I can see that you're seeing the code. And I'll turn that screen capture back on. And I don't need the browser anymore. Great, so now you're seeing the code again. Ta-da! So as I come here and I'll go into my little next app, this is what I created. Localhost. Not hosted anywhere, created it myself. did it real time. You watched me do it. It's kind of fun. Little background. Found an animated background here and did this. And if I hover, you can see the mouse actually is actually doing some fun effects. Yay! Anyway, uh, so we learned a lot today. So when you're building Next.js, think of the app router. So what you want to do is create a page folder. So whatever you want to call that name of that page. Here, we'll do another one right now. So I'm in app. I am here and I'm going to create a new folder and I will call it test. Why not, right? And then I will take my background because I'll take both of these. And I'll paste them here. And I would rename this one to test. Great. So now that's called test. This is still called page, but this should actually say export test. Great. And this should include test. I'm not using any images here, so I don't need that. And now if I go to test, ta-da. And it's like, oh, it looks identical. All right, fine. Let's change something. We'll change height of the camera. We'll do 30 and 30. There. So there's test. There's background. Test. Background. And then a lot of people want, oh, you have one here. Let's say I was doing an interview, right? So we can actually do that really easy. I come to page and I have this one. So I create another one and we will call it camera 2 container. Great. And then in test module, I will copy the exact same thing. And the truth is I should inherit from that. So let's do that. Let's use CSS the way it's supposed to be. So styles equal camera container. And then styles dot interview camera. Is it cool? So how do you have multiple in a single object? Is it fixed using Copilot? Do you mean to write an array? Oh, yes, I did. Thanks. And we are on test. Styles camera, interview camera, great. So then in here, I have camera container. All of that will be the same, and then I'll do interview camera. And we'll have top the same, and we'll just do right 50%. Right 50%. That should do it. Let's see. I think it's putting them right on top of each other. Camera container, interview. Yeah, I don't know where that one is. We'll do top 5. It's definitely there. Yeah, let's just inspect it, see where it is. Looks like it's all the way down at the bottom. Oh, does it not have a width or height? Here we're gonna, we should need all of that. All of that should be the same. Top right. Okay, let's just do that. Position, absolute, 0, top, 0, left, 0, width, 100 px, height, 100 px. Yeah, that's so weird. All right, let's try it without that. So we're going to copy that to the interview camera, and I am going to take, do I do a width and height? Yeah, top right. All of that's good. Justify content, display flex, shadow. We're going to do it the right way in a sec. Let's just get it working first. And I need to change the styles. This should just be interview camera. There we go. So let's fix this. Interview camera, top 5. Top 15. And we'll do width. Do width 40. And then height 40. Right? Do height 70. That seems better. Because we're doing cameras, right? So that seems good. That seems good. And we'll do right 10. Great. So let's take this same thing, copy this, come over here, go into, I'm doing test. The interview camera is good. And then this is going to be very similar, except this is going to be left. And there we go. Let's make them a little further apart. So we'll do left 5, and we'll do right 5. And there you go. So now you have 2 different cameras that were an overlay with 2 different cameras. And I could actually import this directly into OBS and then position the cameras inside of it. And I have my interview. Wow, it's fun to create overlays. Who knew? Anyway, that's enough for today. It's been, what, an hour 15, something like that. Let's get back to OBS. Let's get back to my camera. Hey, everybody. Actually, let's go back to our other camera, because I think this still should work. Hey! Oh, you notice it moved, though. Why did that move? You see how it's not lined up anymore? I wonder why. Let's take a look. I think that's an OBS thing. Oh no, I think I edited it. Let's go back to OBS. Sorry. Let's put that back. And I think it was in the code. I changed the wrong one. So in background, so I'm going to play with this real time. I don't know if this will actually work, but let's see. So if I do top 25. Oh yeah, that was it. So top 23, 24. There we go. Perfect. And it does, because it does an auto refresh, it's actually really cool. So OBS will actually sync it. So if I want to move it off kilter, I can do that. But whoops. No, I think it should be 15. Yeah. If I want to change the thickness of the border, I can do that. Let's make it 43. Is this even being used? No, the border's not even being used. Let's do 20. Right, so I can change that to something fun. We'll do red, green. Right, kind of like the aqua with the filter. Right, let's make this 15. There, make it pop. Anyway, that's all CSS stuff that I've been playing with. You can actually do all sorts of things in regards to that. The scrolling text that you see at the bottom is simply through OBS as a title text. Really, really easy. But to create overlays like this, you don't have to know After Effects or Adobe Premiere or all these other video things. Just get really good at CSS and a little bit of JavaScript, and you can do some really amazing things. So what's really fun about this is if I come over to code and I go to background, I'm kind of curious if these show up. No, the mouse movements aren't showing up. I was just wondering if it will. But pretty cool. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, that's all I had for today. That was a lot. Play with CodePen. Take a look at it. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of great sources of information out there on CodePen, and I guess that is about all I have for today. So thank you for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow. Okay. And have a good day. Bye.